Did you know your business can honor God while transforming lives around the world? Welcome to the iBAM Biblical Entrepreneurship Show, the weekly podcast that inspires and equips Christian entrepreneurs to build sustainable businesses that glorify God and uplift impoverished communities. At iBAM, our mission is built on the three fish metaphor. Give a fish. We provide startup loans to launch businesses. Teach to fish. We offer entrepreneur training for lasting growth, equipped for discipleship. We empower discipleship to multiply impact. Join iBAM's founder, Steve Adams, as he shares powerful solo episodes and expert interviews filled with mentorship insights and real-life stories of how biblical entrepreneurship is advancing the Great Commission. Subscribe now and get ready to be inspired, equipped, and empowered to make an eternal impact.
Hi, this is Steve Adams, and welcome to the iBAM Biblical Podcast. And I want to just share with you today the kinds of businesses that we are seeing started with our work around the world at iBAM. We get asked this question often, what kind of businesses are started? And so I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview today. So a few things I'll share with you first. One, we limit our loan size to only $1,000. And you may be thinking, wow, what can you do for that? Well, you can do a lot, actually. In the US, I could start 5 or 10 different businesses for $1,000. I could mow lawns, I could wash windows, I could clean carpets, I could be a house cleaner, I could wash and detail cars. There's a numerous numbers of businesses that I can start with low startup costs and just hustle and work hard, okay? And that's what we're asking our students to do around the world. So we only fund businesses that are service businesses. We found over the last 15, 18 years that when we loaned more money so they could start product businesses like cafes, coffee shops, little small manufacturing companies, open up like a store that, like a booth in a marketplace, very high failure rate because they thought they knew what the market wanted, but they didn't. Whereas when our students start businesses where they serve other people with a service, we have a high repayment rate. It's over 90% today. And so just from all of the experience and the failure of the past, that's what we do. So with that being said, I'm going to give you 4 examples in this short podcast that kind of give you a view of how they work. So first, we have a lady named Aziza. She lives in Central Asia. The reason I don't bring up the country is that these individuals that are there are being persecuted by the modern day KGB. And so I don't want to do anything that would hurt them. And so she has a business where she sells products online. Now, it's not a product business really per se, because it was an existing company that we helped her expand, and they added services to it. So they have like a gift service, and they help busy professionals remember key holidays for their significant other. And so it's flowers, it's candies, it's small gifts. And she has, as part of working with iBAM, been able to expand that now in multiple Central Asian capitals. And so we're really proud of her. She's been running that now for about 3 years and has paid off her loan. She is also become a leader in the program because she's now what we call a master trainer, and she trains other people. And so we empower her to do that. So we're very excited about her progress and about her ability to impact people. She has young people living, I think, in 5 different cities who work for her, who are full-time in the business and missionaries making disciples, planting churches in these cities around Central Asia. Another gentleman, so we have a gentleman in Indonesia. We're just going to call him S because the security is even higher there. He lives in one of the 4,900 islands of Indonesia. And he started a business right across from the street from the university that he graduated, cleaning helmets and shoes. You might think, why would somebody get into that business? Well, your context, if it's US only, it wouldn't apply. But in that part of the world, Southeast Asia, Indonesia, a vast number of people ride scooters right out on the street. I mean, by the thousands of them. You see them everywhere, every day. And their shoes and their helmets flat get dirty. And so he started a business where he cleans them and reconditions them. And while Aziza in Central Asia, her disciple making approach is more working with her leaders who then make disciples. S in Indonesia has a really cool way. Me and two other guys who were in our 60s were listening to him tell us this, and we were humbled by this, by the simplicity. And what he says is that he just builds relationships with the students mainly. He has adults too, like full-on adults who have graduated as customers, but they come to him and he builds a relationship with them, and he says, they tell me about their problems because we build trust, because it's a repeat business. And what he asks them is a very simple question. He simply says to them, we've been talking for a while, we've become friends, and I'm grateful you're a client, and I want to ask you something. Would you like to know how God has helped me with my problems? And he said they always say yes, and he's able to share with them how the gospel has changed his life and how it has helped him work through, not solve all his problems, but work through them with perspective. And that is his way of making disciples and bringing people into the kingdom. And it's a beautiful thing. He also is close to paying off his loan. It's been a really nice success. The business is profitable. Another person, I can share his name, Apesto. He lives in Zambia in sub-Saharan Africa, and he has a marketing agency. And so what he did with his loan was added more computing capability and an ability to do his digital marketing consulting. Been a nice success. He is a leader in his community, in the church there, and he gets an opportunity to work with business owners all over Zambia and build a relationship with them and try to introduce them to the person of Jesus Christ. And so he's been another success story of ours. And then we have Daniel. Daniel, this is a fun story. He's also in Central Asia. He came to us, and I already explained to you our loan cap was $1,000. And when he first came to our team, he wanted $73,000. And we were like, man, you didn't get the memo, did you, Daniel? And I even remember when I was in country teaching them before they came to this second training to present their request, I made all of them repeat back to me that our loan cap was $1,000, and they all said it. And I said, now write it down. Do you have it? You said it to me, you wrote it down, do you understand? They said, yes, we understand. So I don't know what happened here, but anyway, our guy said, look, we're not doing that. We're not even going to do 2,000. So you need to go back and rework your business model. And what he was going to do is buy a bunch of expensive equipment and roast and manufacture coffee on his own. And so what he did is he went back and went, if I just resell coffee and supplies, I can get that under $1,000. So that's what he did. We were able to approve it. And after a few months building relationships, selling coffee, he realized what the market wanted, because this Central Asian capital that we went to has an emerging coffee class, and there's more and more shops opening, and there's a shortage of baristas. And so he set up a barista training school with courses, and now he's expanding into that. And he's paid his loan off, and he's a leader locally. He's a leader in his church. And these are just 4 examples of the kinds of things that started. I can kind of give you a laundry list. In another Central Asian capital, a person started a quail egg business where they have quails who lay eggs, and they take them into the market because they have a national dish in that country that has quail eggs on top of the rice. Another person in that same country made door frames and window frames and just needed a little bit of tooling. We had somebody in Central Asia that needed some tools to expand his cement block business. And that was a big success. We've had a few people develop language training schools and tutoring programs where they run it as a commercial for-profit business. We have a person in Africa who started a transportation business. They already had the car, but they didn't have other tools like a laptop and some other things to market the business, like a metering tool, payment processing tool, basic things, and some marketing budget to grow their transportation business. And that's going really well now. And so these are all examples. And so that's the thing I also want to share with you. We don't go to them, we're telling them what to do. We're all made in God's image. God is creative. He's put that creativity into human beings. And if you're in the U.S., and even though we are the most prosperous country in the world at scale, it wasn't invented here, okay? You were fortunate to be born in a country that had freedom, democracy, intellectual property rights, protection, a rule of law, a stable government, a stable monetary system, stable banking system. All of these things that you take for granted create the opportunity for people to be creative and start companies and do it all over America on a daily basis, okay? A lot of the people we work with, all of the people we work with, none of them grow up with that expectation. Most of them operate in countries where the rules don't make it clear or easy for them to operate, but they still have that creativity in them. And so we're amazed at their ability to see need in the market and match it with a business offering. And then we just come alongside them and teach them success and failure factors. What does the Bible say about business and partnership with your local church, and how to handle money? We talk about budgeting, basic budgeting, and how to analyze how you did versus your budget and make changes. We talk about a model of marketing where you find your ideal avatar customer and find the messaging that matches with what they want, and then finding the right media that helps them get their message out. And then how to do research so that when they put their business plan together and go through loan committee, they have a low risk launch or expansion opportunity. And so that's what we do at iBAM, is we're basically helping the unbanked believer community in the developing world get access to both training and capital so they can launch that business inside of a movement of disciple making. And that's the core problem we're solving, is that there's these movements around the world who lack financial sustainability because their people get persecuted when they come to follow Jesus Christ. Many of them lose their jobs. And so if we can come alongside them and help them get job creator entrepreneurs within their church movements, that strengthens the movement and helps those job creators solve problems locally rather than people from overseas. Not that that's bad, but it's both. And so I hope this podcast was encouraging to you. So when you give to iBAM, and I would encourage you, go to ibam.org, find the donate button. Any amount would be great, because when you do that, what you're doing is you're paying forward where you are in life here in the U.S. and going, I want to give somebody an opportunity around the world who trusts in Jesus Christ as their Savior like I do. I want to help them have an opportunity at the dignity of work to pursue work that is meaningful to them and help them flourish as a human, their family flourish, and help them bring flourishing to their local community. That's what you're doing when you get behind this mission. And we run a tight ship. Only about 11% of our receipts go into administrative overhead. Over 55% goes to program expenses. And then we have about 35% is in fundraising. And that's only because we're small right now. That'll correct. Long-term, a ministry wants to be at 20% or less fundraising, about 75% and 70% in program expenses. That's what gets the outcome you're investing in, about 10% on administrative. And we're right within all of that. We're close. and we're run really well and clean with a full boards. And we're a 501c3 that you can trust. We've been around for 11 years, 12 years now as a full 501c3, but with antecedents back to 2004. So I hope you get on board with us and join the movement. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the International Business as Mission podcast, a space where we explore how to build businesses rooted in biblical principles that create global impact. But we're not just here to talk. We're taking action to spread entrepreneurship to poverty-stricken communities around the world. Our mission is to be the catalyst that empowers people to build sustainable livelihoods and break the cycle of poverty. We follow the 3 fish principle. 1, give a fish, providing startup loans to empower entrepreneurs. 2, teach to fish, offering entrepreneurial training for sustainable business practices. And 3, equip for disciple making, building a community that supports spiritual growth alongside business success. This is life-changing work, but we can't do it alone. We need passionate impact partners like you to join us on this mission by becoming a donor. Your generous gift will directly fund the establishment of new businesses that provide dignified work and hope. Just imagine your donation could help a single mother in rural Africa start a small farming venture that allows her to feed her children and send them to school, or a young man in Southeast Asia to launch a small business. Breaking the chains of generational poverty. This is the power of entrepreneurship as a force for good. Will you join us in unleashing it? Go to ibam.org now to start impacting lives through the transformative power of business as mission. Together we can create a world of flourishing.